to panic and say massive sell-off. That's not the headline necessarily.
Yeah, I would say it's somewhere in between, right?
The fact is that you don't have free trade. We think of it as free trade, but you right now don't have free trade.
Americans are losing money, and they're losing it fast. Since Trump's announcement just 1 hour ago, Dow Jones has gone down by 2%, wiping out all of the gains made so far under his administration.
Hey guys, it's Blahzaye, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how Trump tariffs has caused the stock market to have its worst day in 2025. Make sure that you stick through to the end of the video so we can get all the tips and knowledge to make our best financial decisions moving forward. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. I will definitely be reading those, letting me know what your plan is in this new Trump tariff time that we are in. Let's get into the video.
We are following breaking news. All three major American stock markets have closed down for the day after President Trump took questions about tariffs going into effect tomorrow against Mexico and Canada, and new tariffs coming against China. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady joins us now in Studio 57 to talk about this. So, Kelly, let's be specific with what the tariffs are. 25% against all Mexican and Canadian imports, except 10% when it comes to Canadian energy, 10% additional tariffs on Chinese imports. So now let's talk about what the markets did. The Dow down 700, S&P down 100, NASDAQ down almost 500. What's going on?
So if you pull up a chart of the Dow, okay, right around when President Trump started taking questions about tariffs this afternoon, you're going to see this. It went off a cliff. And in fact, we were actually down over 900 points when it comes to the Dow at one point today. So those numbers that you just mentioned, they're definitely extreme, but they aren't as bad as we were. Now, why? Markets have been trying to price in this question of tariffs. And I think what we heard today was President Trump saying, look, this is going to happen at 12:01. A lot of investors, a lot of companies were hoping, is this a negotiation tactic? Are we going to see an 11th hour deal like we saw a month ago, right? This was supposed to go back into effect at the beginning of February. But if you look particularly at the auto sector, Ford, GM, like Stellantis, they were all down significantly, over 2 to 3%, because these are the companies that have big plants in Mexico and Canada, and they're going to feel this as well as some of the retailers the most.
Okay, so there was a bit of a rebound, though, you said. This isn't sort of a day where to panic and say massive sell-off. That's not the headline necessarily.
Yeah, I would say it's somewhere in between, right? This was a big drop. And by the way, we are not far off of where we actually were before in terms of these indexes when the president won the election. So we've actually kind of lost a lot of those gains. So over the past couple of months, we've seen the market start to normalize. Today, we saw a big sell-off, but there's a lot of volatility. This isn't something where this has happened 5 days in a row, Lindsay. And
that volatility is, as she said before, all these big money funds, the big money funds, like the hedge funds, the money movers that are in the system, you know, your BlackRock, your Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Goldman, they're trying to see where they should utilize their income, their funds that they're managing, the money that they're managing, the trillions of dollars that they are managing, and where they can place that money to effectively generate them the most income in the future for their investors. That's why this thrash is all going around. They don't know if they should be holding it, what asset they should be holding all their funds in to keep it safe from all these tariffs. And like they're trying to place it. They have hundreds and thousands of people on staff to try to figure this stuff out. And that's what the thrash is. That's why the market's going up and down this aggressively like this, because we don't know. They're supposed to be tariffs 30 days ago, and then he pushed it out, but now it's actually coming in. But is he going to stop it later? Like the market needs to know like the future events so that it can price them in. That is the major problem that is happening right now. And it is absolutely crazy to see. Oh God. Next video.
Tomorrow is Tariff Tuesday. Strap in. Here's what to expect. 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, the one delayed from February, and another 10% on China. Will he delay again? Unlikely. Trump doesn't want to risk being perceived as the boy who cries wolf. Upcoming additional tariffs. March 12th, steel and aluminum tariff. April 2nd, autos, semiconductors, lumber, copper, and all reciprocal tariffs. The impact? JP Morgan's head of global research predicts 1% spike in inflation and a 0.7% reduction in GDP this year, which is a 31% cut to their expected GDP before tariffs. Trump's been advocating for tariffs since the late 80s.
The fact is that you don't have free trade. We think of it as free trade, but you right now don't have free trade. And I think a lot of people are tired of watching other countries ripping off the United States.
Are you a fan of tariffs? Let me know.
I like to see that continuity with Trump. He's been saying that, since the 80s. Like, hey, we need to where's major trade deficits that we need to fix, right? If we're trying to be America first, which is, I'm all for, America first, America number one. But we can't be like selling everybody out at the same time and then talking about, making Canada 51st state when we're trying to do these business decisions. Put it down in the comments what you think. I do like the continuity of Trump and how he's been talking about how we need to fix these trade deals. But he also had the previous 4 years that he was in office to fix the trade deals as well. So I don't know, just throwing that one out there. But now he's come to this new administration with this plan. So we're seeing how this is unfolding and how it's affecting the market. This could be a major, like we take the downswing right now. In the long term, we get the benefits of the tariffs. So we could see that in the future as well. So that's why we got to be cognizant and taking as much information as possible. Next video.
America's on its way to a recession, and the stock market is in a free fall after Trump announced tariffs on Canada and Mexico will be going into effect tomorrow, and there's nothing that can be done to stop them. Americans are losing money, and they're losing it fast. Since Trump's announcement just 1 hour ago, Dow Jones has gone down by 2%, wiping out all of the gains made so far under his administration. And if you don't invest, you'll still be losing money because the goods you buy will be more expensive. We're talking pharmaceuticals, lumber, cars, tequila, avocados, and plenty of other goods will be going up in price, and you need to be aware of that. Not to mention that all of this comes as the Atlanta Fed is projecting that our GDP will go down by 3% in the first quarter of 2025. 1 month ago, they projected it would be going up by 4%, and that is a stark contrast to where we're at today because of Trump's policy. If anybody ever tries to tell you that Trump is good for the economy, they are lying to you. Don't be deceived. The Trump administration is currently destroying the American economy as we speak.
And there's something to say about the tariffs coming in. Like, will it be potentially good long term? It technically should be good, but we're the ones paying the tariffs. But if he can move this position to where the tariffs can offset the income tax, that's when it might be interesting. If we can reduce government spending to offset income tax, that would be interesting. If we don't have to get rid of Social Security, Medicaid, I know there's a lot of families that need those type of services. There's a lot of older people that didn't plan for retirement appropriately, and so they need Social Security as well as Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that. Those other programs, so that stuff is definitely needs to be in the conversation of maybe the tariffs could help, but right now we are gonna feel pain. And there's congressmen that have also said that you gotta break a couple of eggs to make an omelet. That's the one where he was talking about he likes omelets more than sex or something like that.
I mean, I really like omelets. I could eat an omelet at every meal. I like omelets better than sex.
Our congressman, oh my God, there needs to be age limits. But let's check out these comments down below right here. Kamala Harris' economic plan was endorsed by 24 Nobel Prize winning economists. But oh no, y'all didn't like Biden's stuttering. He was kind of old though, to be honest. So now we have to deal with the literal damn, going hardcore. Who could have predicted this? Literally every economist. Trump filed bankruptcy 6 times, and now he's about to bankrupt us as a country. We'll be in a full depression before July. He's going to blame the crash on Biden. And I'm fully aware, guys, that this is a liberal. Dean Withers is a liberal guy. I mean, you got to take information from both sides. I watch Fox News, you watch CNN, you watch as many different news outlets as possibly can so you can get the true picture, right? Next video.
We have some major breaking news right now. The stock market is officially in free fall after Donald Trump announced that tariffs on 25% will be coming from Mexico and Canada tomorrow, and there's nothing that will stop them. In less than an hour since this announcement, the Dow Jones is down more than 820 points, almost 2% in just an hour. This has now erased almost all the gains that the market had made since Trump became president, which means Americans are losing money fast. But that's not all. Prices of goods are about to skyrocket. I just did a full breakdown of everything that'll be impacted on my Substack, link to my bio. Go check it out, subscribe for free. But in essence, Mexican goods include produce, like avocados, include electronics, include cars. Cars could rise up to $12,000 to buy a car. Canadian goods include lumber, include pharmaceuticals, and so much more. It's coming fast, and you need to be aware. And I will continue to report as much information as we get when we get it. But right now the market is falling. I'll provide you updates every step of the way. Follow along for more.
Yeah, so the market is falling, but will it cause a stock market crash? If we get reciprocal tariffs on top of the tariffs that America already has, by the way, hence why there has been like trade deficits, and that's what Trump was trying to rectify in the beginning. So we've already got tariffs on our imports. Now, with us increasing our tariffs, it's just gonna start a trade war. Now they're gonna do a reciprocal tariff on their end, which could cause the stock market to crash, because what you would do if you're tariffs and you're like a low income family or just middle income, right? The only way we can fight these at our level is to literally just stop buying the products. If we stop buying the products, corporations' profits are gonna fall. If corporations' profits fall, they're not gonna make earnings. If they're not making earnings, their stock price is gonna fall. If everybody's stock prices start falling, that will cause a market crash, guys. But you can't sit there and tell people to continuously buy products that they're being overly charged for now with the tariffs. They're just gonna stop buying products. They're gonna go to minimum. How can we reduce our expenses the most possible, especially if Trump gets rid of income tax? That's gonna help for sure, but we're still getting blasted with these tariffs. Now it's just a consumer tax on us, low income and middle income people. Next video.
But so we're going April 2nd, but very importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs.
It's so crazy because just as he's talking, the market is just dropping. You got people, the fund managers, just like, oh shit, sell. But the people that have puts on this, if you don't know about puts, throw it down in the comments. If you're knowledgeable, you can help people out. It's derivatives, contracts, option contracts, and they're making bank right now. That must have been an amazing day for them. You can make money both ways, guys. Hey. Crazy thing, I know a lot of people that were putting into NVIDIA and even buying NVDL. NVDL is legit. Like, NVIDIA is good. Mind you guys, as long as everything is rectified and negotiated appropriately and nobody's screwing anybody, then all these stocks are eventually going to go up. It's just, this is a blip in time. You always invest over the long term. That's just standard advice. That's Warren Buffett advice right there. That's all that is. Invest over the long term. Don't worry about these little blips. This is a good buying time right now. Or you could start, increasing your DCA or your dollar cost averaging, just investing in these stocks over time, but increase your frequency in this moment, right? So that's what we need to do, is start whatever stock that you like, whatever company that you've been watching and monitoring their financials with, start to increase that frequency in this moment in time, right? And then once the stock starts rising again, we'll just catch those gains. Or if it continues to fall, maybe the trade war gets a little bit more serious. Maybe wars start to break out a little bit more. We don't know. Nobody knows the future, right? That's why dollar cost averaging or DCAing into a stock or into the market or into an ETF or a mutual fund is the best way to handle this. Because as regular investors, it's like us trying to go into a pro basketball team or try to play a game. As a normal guy, you go from the stands to the court to the Lakers or something. And you just get absolutely handled. That's what happens when a normal guy opens up his brokerage app and starts trying to trade with the big boys. That's why it's much better just DCA over time and then let time make you the gains, especially in times like this. Next video. There's some news in interpretive dance style. I thought it'd be a little bit different. If you guys have stuck with me this long, hopefully if you got some value out of this video, can you please drop a like and make sure to comment so I can see it down below, and subscribe for future content so we can all get smart. Oh God, so much history. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, is what everybody says. Hey, if you guys got anything from this video, if you learned anything, please drop the like. Make sure to comment down below so I can read it, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.